Before we begin, I publish new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for everything mobile gaming. Number 10. World of Kings. World of Kings is the World of Warcraft on mobile we never got. Big statement, I know, but what can I say? The game delivers. You will start by picking from 4 races. These are human, elf, orc or dwarf, and then proceed to choose one of the 9 classes available, opening up to a total of 27 classes in the later stages of the game, each with their own unique playstyle, and that alone is impressive. World of Kings puts you in this fairly large and beautiful open world with some amazing landscapes, and the map is all connected, meaning you can travel from one end to the other without ever seeing a load screen, which is just amazing from a tech angle. The music is another win for this game, as the soundtrack is great and captures the adventures and the environments very well. But no game is perfect, and World of Kings isn't the exception. The character customization is limited compared to what we find elsewhere, the sound effects could use some improvements, and the 2 biggest down points this game has: it's heavy on the autoplay feature, so you'll be auto questing and auto fighting more often than one would like to, and there's a bit of pay to win involved, as the gap between the subscribers and the free-to-play players is very small, but skill does play a huge role in the high-end dungeons, so there is that. All in all, World of Kings is a decent attempt at a mobile World of Warcraft, and there are lots of stuff to do for every type of MMO fan. Number 9. Dragon Nest M. Dragon Nest M is the direct port of the PC game Dragon Nest. The game gives you a selection of 7 classes to choose from, and the story begins. A story that changes based on the character you picked, and as I said in my past videos, there aren't that many MMORPGs these days that do that, and so I give them kudos for that. Combat is also decent in this game, as there's no auto combat here, and the combat is skill based, meaning that any low level player can defeat higher level players using pure skill. Also, auto quest only works when you're finding your way to an NPC to take or complete a quest, or simply when you're on your way to a quest location. The visuals aren't the best on mobile at the time of this video, but they're decent enough, and you can choose from 3 camera angles: 2.5D, 3D and Dynamic 3D, which shakes things up a bit. Dragon Nest M is one of the more fun MMORPGs out there, and I definitely recommend it. Number 8. Rangers of Oblivion. Mobile gamers wanting to play a Monster Hunter on mobile didn't really have the option, outside of Japan of course, so Rangers of Oblivion came to fill that void. Following the same footsteps as in the Monster Hunter games, you will pick a class, visit your local smith, get a quest for materials, go out and smash some huge monsters, harvest them for loot, come back and craft that weapon or armor you wanted. The combat mechanics are also pretty similar. There are slow but heavy damage weapons, long range and short range weapons, and even magic staffs, so the wider variety of weapons is maybe the first difference from a Monster Hunter game. Also, unlike its spiritual counterpart, Rangers of Oblivion also features a hub where you will meet other players and complete quests, ride mounts, etc. Rangers of Oblivion is basically Monster Hunter on mobile done right. It offers a great story, beautiful visuals, great combat with controller support for that console-like experience, and plenty of content, making it a definite must-play. Number 7. Perfect World Mobile. Out during summer of 2019, Perfect World Mobile is the direct port of the popular PC MMORPG, both made by Beijing Perfect World. You play a new story which takes place in the same towns and ports with the same Chinese mythology elements, and even get to meet the same NPCs as the PC game. Each class has on top of the combat skills a special ability, so for example, for some like Winged Elf is the power of flight, while others is jump or double jump. There are also mounts and flying mounts if that's your thing. Visually speaking, Perfect World Mobile is pretty, no doubt about that. The 3D graphics are incredibly detailed and the animations are flawless, and as it stands today, this is a decent sequel to the popular PC MMORPG, and if you have a phone that can run it at max settings, it's even better. Number 6. Adventure Quest 3D. Adventure Quest 3D is the sequel to the 2D browser RPG Adventure Quest Worlds. The game is a basic fantasy MMORPG where you start with 3 classes, warrior, mage or rogue, which you will be able to freely switch between at any point in the game. Visually speaking, the graphics are cartoonish and colorful, and the quest system in the game gets repetitive quick, while the combat is rather simplistic. Another thing worth mentioning is that the game is cross-platform, so you can play the same character on Steam, then switch to your Android phone or tablet or iOS on the go. And the party system is where this game shines, in my opinion. Adventure Quest has one of the easiest systems to party up with your friends with basically 2 taps of a finger. This is, as I said, a basic, simple to play MMORPG that doesn't require high specs or much MMO experience, so it's great for newcomers as well. Number 5. Toram Online. Toram Online has been out for many years now, and it is still one of the best MMORPGs you can play on mobile. The game was developed by Oblivion Inc., which is the MMORPG powerhouse from Japan. The same guys behind Rebolution Online, Iruna Online, or the more recent Alchemia story. Toram Online throws you in a massive open world with real-time gameplay and absolutely stunning anime-style graphics. There is no class system here, so you have more freedom in customizing your character's looks, skills, and attributes, and one of the 4 available types of weapons. One of the best features of the game is you can distribute the stat points for your character however you want to, so you can focus on the attributes that matter the most to you. Sadly, there is auto combat here, so make whatever you want of it. Last but not least, Toram Online has a great story, and so is the soundtrack, and there's still a huge active player base to team up with, slash bosses, and explore this beautiful world. Number 4. Ragnarok M. It's been 1.5 years since the global release of Ragnarok M, which got 57% of your votes. For better or for worse, Ragnarok M is a stunning game, and beyond the graphics, the massive load of content you can do in this game is nothing short of impressive. There is a total of 14 classes to pick from, which includes Thief, Archer or Mage, and each class has 2 subclasses that are unlocked later in the game. The controls are decent, and besides the grind for loot and XP, you can also do the story quests, side missions, etc. or dive into the guild wars, which are fun, or one of the many PvP arenas. Also, if you're not a fan of grinding in MMOs, auto combat is a fun way to bypass that altogether. One more thing that's worth noting is that there's a restriction on how long you can play every day, starting at 6 hours per day. In short, Ragnarok M doesn't have the best graphics or an ideal game balancing, so that's why I would recommend it to newcomers and casual players first and foremost. Number 3. Lineage 2 Rebolution. Lineage 2 Rebolution is one of the most popular MMORPGs on mobile and one of the highest grossing mobile games ever, having earned tens of billions of dollars so far. The game that gathered 61% of your votes created a ton of hype before release and was met with general deception over the heavy autoplay features in questing and combat and the heavy pay-to-win models that's present in the game. The repetitiveness of its missions, the auto gameplay mechanics, and its heavy grindy nature kept it from ever reaching greatness, in my opinion. Having said that, Lineage 2 Rebolution is still one of the best looking MMO games on mobile, despite being a few years older than the current competition. Its large open worlds offer plenty of content beyond the first chapter, which acts as a tutorial and takes a lengthy 5 hours to complete. Number 2. Black Desert Mobile. One of the most hyped games to come to mobile in the past few months is Black Desert Mobile, and the 62% of your votes show exactly that. Visually, it's impressive how this mobile spin-off looks so similar to the PC game in terms of graphics and special effects. Fans of Black Desert Online on PC will be right at home here. It's the same action MMO playstyle and world, and you can even fast travel between towns, which is a new feature. Another improvement from the PC game is the pet breeding and the job system. On the other hand, if you're not planning to play this casually, expect some heavy pay-to-win handicaps, limited gender-locked classes, and somewhat of a forgettable story. The RNG for gear and enhancement is present everywhere in the game, so it feels like no matter what, you need to get on the good side of the RNG gods to get some decent gear. Activity-wise, you have the main quests, side quests, PvE dungeons, and PvP arena. There's also a camp you can manage to get resources, and when you need a break from the monster slaying and quest-taking tasks, you can relax while fishing, gardening, or mining. A game to try, but with a pinch of salt. And before we check out the champion, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified about the latest videos. Number 1. Dragon Raja. destroying the competition with 67% of your votes, Dragon Raja is the go-to MMORPG if you're looking for the latest MMO released on mobile. The game uses the Unreal Engine and graphic-wise, it's one of the best looking games on mobile ever, all down to the details of day and night modes, weather changes, or even the grass moving with the wind. It's just very well designed. Another strength of the game is the features you can do. Unlike most MMOs, here you can race against other players using cars or motorcycles, or play guitar if that's your thing, and you can even call someone using one of the many public telephones in the game. All these extra side activities give it a strong vibe from the Persona games. Dragon Raja also uses autoplay, so if you're short on time, you can auto quest or auto battle while you do other things. The story is decent and engaging, and the customization of characters and vehicles you can ride is satisfying. All in all, this is a well put together MMO. Yes, the movements of your character can be somewhat rigid, and I've been told that players outside America and Europe servers experience server instability, but I haven't personally had any issues. The good outweighs the bad by a long shot with this game, and that's why Dragon Raja is not only my pick, but your pick as well for best MMO to play in 2020. And that sums up your picks for the best MMORPG you can play on mobile, and I'm curious, how did your favorite game rank up? Let's continue the discussion in the comment section down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, your likes are very much appreciated, and subscribing is